Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is... I don't know why I need to do it. I knew what day it was. Day 6 of the Leetcode Day Challenge. I don't know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's farm whenever it wants to come up. Today we have 2554, maximum number of integers to choose from a range 1. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, nothing to say today. I just ran 4 or 5 miles today, and I'm not training for anything specifically. I mean, I am doing a 50k, that's 50 in January, but I don't feel like I need to train for it that much. I'm just kind of, getting into it. But it's very cold. It is 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is I think sub-zero, right? In Celsius, and all I'm wearing is a hoodie. So yeah, I think my ears are still cold. I don't know, my fingers are still kind of cold. So if I type or I make many typos, then that's the excuse. Anyway, let's take a look. We have 2554. Let's go. You have an integer array band, 2 integers n and max sum. You're choosing some number of integers following the rules. The numbers have to be between 1 to n, at most once each number. The chosen cannot be in band. The sum cannot be exceed max sum. The maximum number of integers you can choose, right? Okay. So I mean, I think the first thing that I would say is that there's an intuitive, but everything is intuitive until it is wrong. Greedy though, right? Where the sum should not so you have the sum. So meaning that you have components that you want to add together. They're chosen ones, which seems fair enough. Has to be 1 to n, which is also fine. And then the maximum number of integers that you can choose, right? Because you're maximizing the number of integers and it has to be not greater than sum, then it just means that we want the smallest number possible, right? And that's really the idea. N is 10 to this n is 10 to the 4th, which is the range, which is kind of maybe interesting. I don't know, but yeah, the maximum is 10 to the 9th, which also means what does that mean, right? That actually implies another upper bound on n anyway, even though it's a little bit different, because that means that what is the sum, right? The max sum, it's going to be, even if you have nothing in band and n is some infinity number, that means that your sequence, the numbers you chose, would be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus ... which is roughly n squared, right? Like n times n plus 1 over 2 or something. I don't know. I always confuse that with -1. So yeah. By the way, roughly the same. And as a result, it's an n squared term on one side and a x term on the other. So then that means that you want the square root of this number, right? Roughly speaking. So and I'm saying this instead of doing the math in front of you because even though I could do it obviously, but it's just kind of, I want to articulate the dots that are coming out of my mind, right? Yeah. And this is how I think about it immediately. I don't usually, not that I don't usually, but for what I just said, I don't need to put it on paper, right? I was looking at my notebook, and I could use a good notebook and pencil once in a while, but I'm just saying, this is not the case here. Okay. And then, yeah, that's really the key thing, I think. Yeah, I mean, you have a band number, you can sort and then do a 2-pointer thing, but you can also put it into a set. Whichever one you want to use is fine, I think. Me, lazily, I'll just put a set, and then I'm going to just write like for I in range of all the way up to n plus 1. You have maybe like a current total in a greedy kind of way, and a count also, just, yeah. So then now if total plus I is less than or equal to max sum, well, if I is not in B, and if I is not in B, then you have 2 cases, right? Maybe you want to write it this way, or maybe just rewrite it if I is in B, meaning it's band, then we continue. We just skip to the next number. Otherwise, if total plus I is less than or equal to sum, we increment 1, we increment total, and then else we can just break directly, or maybe even return if you like, because that means that everything in the future is going to be bigger, right? So once this stops being true, this will always be true as long as I is in B. So anyway, yeah. And of course, I mean, I think I missed, oh, because I counted the number 0. So that's why I'm off by 1, because you can always add 0, which is true, but that's not in the range that they gave you. Okay. It feels okay. So let's give a quick submit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty straightforward. The complexity is a little bit wonky to analyze, but like I said, it's going to be the square root of the max sum or over this n, which is not linear, by the way, but this n plus over b, if you will, for the band, because you do have to process this for the set. And maybe you could sort it if you like, but that also have different costs, which is fine, but yeah, you just have to kind of mention it or something. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. As usual, for now, I will do the admin of code at some point, so definitely check that out. Thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy to good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye-bye.